G'day, how's it going? Today's video is going to be a quick look into the world of setup portrait photography. Now this portrait session was intended to be a Christmas gift for my sister, a portrait of two lovely children. One is 2-month-old and the other's 2 years old. Big shout out to all the portrait photographers that deal with kids on a daily basis. It is hard. This work is meant to be printed out as a Christmas present. I'm not entirely sure how large I'm going to go yet, but I'm probably thinking of doing a triptych style. Then you have 2 on the outside and 1 in the middle. It'll look quite nice. First, we're going to talk about the setup. Started by clearing out all the clutter between myself and the couch that I wanted to shoot them on. There was a bunch of candles and Buddha statues, so we cleared those out of the way just so we could get a nice clear distance between you and your subject. I wanted to have extra clean files, so I used added lighting to help me with keep my ISO as low as possible, being able to increase my aperture so that I'd have a larger depth of field so the entire kid is going to get in focus. And I don't have to worry about getting 2 squirming children in the same field of focus. For the lights, I'm using an AD400 Pro as my key light with a nice big softbox that Godox sells in a bundle, which is pretty good, as well as a AD200 Pro kind of set off in the distance on the background, just to have a little splash of light on the back of the couch and that little wooden detail on there. On the AD200 Pro, I have a set of barn doors that is sold with it, and it's just so that I can shape the light so I don't get too much light spilling on the back of the subject's head. I also have one of those big foldable backdrops with the black and the white, so I chucked it in the background behind the couch because there was a very large window catching the reflection of the key light in it. It was very distracting. It would have been annoying to get rid of post, so I thought, let's get rid of it now instead. I shot this on my Canon R6 with the 7-200 so that I've got nice compression so I don't actually have to worry about too much of the backdrop, and I just have kind of one nice compressed image so that the kid is going to stand out nice easily, great for portraits, as well as I don't have to deal with making everything look good. I can just make this one section look good. I had all this set up, locked off on a tripod, as well as tethered directly into my laptop, shooting through Capture One. After the area was ready, I then moved on to preparing the space that I wanted to shoot them in. There's a whole bunch of pillows and all that kind of stuff, so I adjusted those to make those look just right, as well as clearing out any issues that I saw along the way. You want to get the area ready as much as you can before you bring your talent in, because once the talent comes in, they sit down, they're gonna want to get out of there as quick as they can. So we want everything to be ready for them so that they can do their job and then they can head out. No one has to wait while you sit around and fiddle with settings as well as adjusting lights dramatically. I did this through using a soft teddy bear that we had by and a light meter to use it so that I know where I'm focusing as well as metering the light from. You can easily do this by taking the shot on your camera and then checking the back of your camera or your tethered laptop. But I personally find that using the light meter gets me there 95% of the way, and then I can go back to the computer and see the little things that I might need to adjust. I start off the session by making sure my nephew has all of his toys as well as getting him in the right spot. Hopefully he will sit for me. It can be quite unpredictable, so I find that when I shoot with them, I like to involve them in the process. I'll give them choices in the similar way where I can kind of get them to do what I need them to do, as well as making them feel involved and like they have some amount of control. Normally through bringing up a toy or something that they can play with while I'm shooting, because it looks quite good too. Once you kind of get a couple of shots with the kid kind of doing what they want to do, you can also then put it away and then get the shots that you need. Once I sat him down, we got the teddy all sorted. Gave him the teddy bear, rushed to my camera, took some shots, and of course the lights weren't on. Now, just before this, we actually had dinner, so the lights that I'd set up had automatically shut off, but I forgot to check them before I went to shoot. Things happen, try not to do it. After waking up the lights, I rattled off a handful of shots, and I got probably one of my favorite shots of the whole day. With him hugging the bear, it just looks so incredibly cute. At this point, I'm just kind of playing around, making different noises and talking to him, trying to get some different reactions, some smiles, some laughter, stuff like that, just to give me some variety in the shots, and I can then pick the best one from there. Eventually, he kind of gets tired of the whole thing, and he's kind of beginning to lose focus. At this point, we bring in the youngest to give him something more to interact with. and make the whole experience new again. Unfortunately, she's a bit grumpy today, so she's not exactly looking like a happy baby, but I just let the two of them sit there and play and see what they come up with by themselves. I'm just sitting away, snapping some shots. After all this is done, a bit of wrangling, we can tell that the oldest has kind of had enough, so he's basically just left. Nothing you can really do about it half the time, especially at the age of 2. They're not very good at following orders a lot of the time. I knew that I'd already got some good shots of him, so I wasn't too stressed. So from this point on, we focus on the youngest, and short of wiring her up, she's not very good at staying up by herself. So I have my assistant, thank you my mother, she is kind of holding up the child in a way that I noticed that she had one of her hands in the front. So I asked her to remove that hand so that when I go through and edit in post, I can edit a background hand out quite easily, but a front hand, you're gonna have to reconstruct the arms and the legs and stuff like that. It can be quite tricky. So if you can fix it when you notice it, it's a lot better than having to throw it into post and do Photoshop magic to it. After all of this, I bring my photos through Capture One. I go through and rate all the ones that I'd like, and then go through it again with a slight color grade. I got most of it right in the camera, so it's mainly just white balance adjustment and a little bit of saturation, so I don't need to do too much with that. But after that, I do bring them into Photoshop, get the final issues with some stray twines and stuff like that, little pixel adjustments that will make the photo look a lot more polished all up together. Here are some of the final images. That's all for me today, so enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope everything goes well for you in your own portrait attempts. Alright, see ya.